welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers begin later this month, March 24th to be precise. Many parts of the region continue to be severely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, and teams continue to have travel and quarantine requirements, making the staging of games almost impossible. As a result, several CONCACAF members, namely Anguilla, Aruba, Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Belize, the British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, Cuba, Canada, Dominica, Montserrat, Turks and Caicos, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Nevis, TNT, have had to relocate their home matches to other CONCACAF countries with accommodating COVID-19 protocols. CONCACAF Vice President and CFU President Randy Harris believes the vaccination of players and the support staff will bring things back to normal and allow these countries to host their home matches at home. Harris, along with players and officials connected to the Barbados senior men's team, have been vaccinated ahead of their departure to the Dominican Republic for their World Cup assignments against Panama and Anguilla. And Randy Harris joins us now. Welcome again to the SportsMax Zone, sir.
Good evening. How are you? How is everybody?
Everybody is good. I remember the last time we spoke to you, you were just about to get married. How is married life?
So far, great.
Excellent, excellent. Tell me now, Randy, the fact of, let's start with the Barbados senior men's team. The fact that you guys have been inoculated, you've gotten your jab, does this change any of the protocols, the arrangements around your travel to play those two World Cup qualifiers?
No, we have some very serious protocols in place. We have had assistance from the Barbados Sports Medicine Committee, of which one of the leading doctors here in the COVID fight is the chairman, Dr. Renier Best. So we have a pretty strict guidelines to follow. Yes, we have been inoculated, but this trip is different. As you may have heard, Barbados is going up there 2 weeks before our actual scheduled game against Panama on the 26th. And the reason why we are doing that is because at the moment, our government protocols say that there can be no sporting activity. Therefore, our team does not have the capacity to train at this time. So we are really leaving the island tomorrow, and we are going to schedule our training sessions tactically and technically there for the next 2 weeks. There's, however, have been on their own doing their fitness and condition. So we expect that we should do well when the 25th of March comes.
Another big one concerns St. Lucia, because it's a story that Lance has been tracking, and us here at the SportsMax Zone have been tracking since last week. Can you confirm on this day in sports what the status of St. Lucia's participation in World Cup qualifiers is?
Well, I was trying to get some word on that. Wasn't successful so far, but I have heard of the rumor, and I am hoping that I'll be able to speak with the principals of the St. Lucia FA and find out what are the real problems and see what kind of assistance they can get if possible.
Yeah, well, Randy, our information is that the game is off and they aren't playing. We also hear that the Cayman Islands may have pulled out of their fixture as well. Can you say anything about the Cayman Islands?
No, I know Cayman Islands, they were having some serious problems. They have one of the strictest protocols in place by their government. And I know that it would have been very difficult for them to be able to stage the match, be able to get their overseas-based players to play. And obviously, it would hamper the quality of the game because their stipulation calls for 14 days quarantine on arrival. I mean, that is just asking too much for the game. However, it is possible that they may decide to play their away game away from the Cayman Islands. I'm not too sure on that.
Yeah, Randy, the Dominican Republic and Curacao will be hosting several of the games. Can you briefly outline to our viewers what is it about these two countries at the moment that would allow football to be played there and why so many teams are actually going to those two countries to play qualifying?
Okay, their protocols are quite relaxed. So it means that the teams can go into these two countries, have their training sessions and play games without having to be quarantined. I hope the other countries are doing like us here in Barbados and making sure that all of their players are tested 72 hours before arrival, because it is in the best interest of the teams to ensure that they're not taking anybody who is COVID positive. But as far as the controls, the protocols are concerned, it is more conducive to the comfort of playing and accommodating these matches in both DR and Curacao.
Yeah, in the case of a lot of these teams, well, you specifically mentioned Barbados, that you were actually going 2 weeks ahead of time, which I guess would impact cost and so on. What kind of assistance is FIFA offering to countries during this COVID-19 period to help to ameliorate the situation, the difficulties that they would be encountering at the moment?
But to be fair to FIFA, FIFA has been ensuring that the countries in the Caribbean are not left behind. Don't forget, we had a stipend, an extra stipend of $500,000 US last year, and this year we received another 500,000. Apart from that, FIFA usually gives us 200K US for travel for national teams annually. And I believe most people would have received that. And I don't want to speak for CONCACAF, but I believe that they are assisting us in this anomaly, really, because of the amount of travel we have to do, having to play games away from the scheduled venues, etc. So we should be in a pretty safe place for now. Obviously, there are other rounds, and we will have to look at those when they come.
And finally, Randy, as CFU boss, I am sure you would have heard of the issues with the Jamaica Football Federation and the players in a standoff over wages or fees to represent the country in upcoming CONCACAF and World Cup qualifying, or Andre Suklal from TNT just confirmed that TNT has had a long-standing issue with the federation and player fees, having negotiation standoffs and so on. Any comment that you would want to give at this point as a CFU man overseeing football in the region, and how there are these constant issues of players and football associations fighting and quarreling over player fees?
Well, the truth is, it would be unfair for me to comment on Jamaica's situation and Trinidad and Tobago's situation, because I have had no official notification on these matters. But I hope that both sides will come together and come to a position that will be mutually beneficial to both of them. It is really difficult to organize football in this region, especially when we have to play out of the region. Very, very, very expensive. And I am hoping, because I love all of my teams, and the truth is, Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago have been the bright lights in the Caribbean, and they've been taking the torch forward. And I'm hoping that when everything starts, when these qualifiers start, that these two teams would be playing at their strongest and be able to show some quality that we have in the Caribbean.
Yes, indeed. Randy Harris, thank you very much. All the best to you.
Same to you. It was a pleasure.
Good.
All right.
Break time. Back with more after these.